Okay, all right, go ahead.
Hey, Ricky, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I know a lot of the guys that cover recruiting talked to you throughout the whole process, but for those of us who didn't, could you just talk about, explain, how interested you were in Florida State from the beginning and what led you to sign with the Seminoles?
Florida State was my first offer. Norvell himself called me. First, he called my mom, though. Funny story. He thought my mom's number was my number, so he ended up texting her. But then he ended up calling me. And from the start, they really showed me a lot of love. They was really, like, on top of me. And not just me, they were on my family also. And honestly, Coach Norvell, he was just a realist to me. Like, I felt like he was one of the realest people that I've ever met. He told me, like, from the start, if I wasn't ready to work, like, this place wasn't for me. He told me, like, this is where we come to work, this is where we shine, this is where we climb. So all in all, they just made me feel loved here. They made me feel like family from day one. And that love never changed. Like, even when I committed, some people, the coaches tend to fall off. They didn't. They stayed on top of it the whole way through. So that ultimately led me to come here. And just with God, I had some talks, and my heart was just here. Like, every time I visited here, I had a different feeling from other schools. So I knew that that was my calling, and this was the place to be.
I know you have the ability to play multiple positions, but was it important to you to play corner, and how was that even a discussion during the process?
So really, from a young age, I always liked playing offense, but I also was like a defensive player. I loved to hit. I always thought I was going to grow up and become a receiver. My 9th and 10th grade year, I played receiver, and then that's when I started to transition to safety. My 10th grade year, I played safety. 11th grade year, I ended up making a transition in the corner, and it really wasn't my decision, honestly. My stepdad felt as though it was important for me to move the corner because he felt as though I would get a lot more looks at it, being as though at safety it's a lot of drop coverages, so he felt like he wanted me to showcase my skills a little more. So I ended up making a transition in the corner, and honestly it was like one of the best decisions I've made. It's probably the hardest position on the field in my opinion. And that's where it just allows you to showcase your skills, showcase how much you're working, your work ethic. It just shows your character and your confidence.
Got one on Zoom here from Chris Meek.
Hey Ricky, hope you're doing good, man.
Yes, sir.
For corner, what's the biggest jump from the high school ranks to the college ranks, and what have you heard from the guys in that room that are more veteran than you about how to get prepared for that?
At the corner position, honestly, it's a lot more faster. Everything's a lot more faster. Guys are more stronger, more physical. And talking throughout the team, it's just about being confident. You can't never let anyone break your confidence. And I think that's a big piece of my game. I'm very confident in myself. I'm very confident in my skills. So when I go out there and I may lose a rep, you don't win them all. It's what happens on the next rep. It's what you do after that rep. That shows your character. That shows how tough you are. So really it's all a mind thing at corner. To be a good corner, you also have to have a tough mind.
What was your relationship like with Coach Surtain? Did you know him at all before the recruiting process, and what do you like about him?
I didn't know Coach Surtain personally, but I knew of him. He's one of the greats. My relationship with him now is that's my guy, that's my main man. We joke a lot. We definitely work hard in practice. We do a lot of study sessions when we can. And if it's not with him, it's with my Coach Drew. So Coach Surtain, he really played a big part also in my recruiting process. Because when I was looking at, who would be coaching me throughout the year, you got to look at who's your position coach. You got to look at his accolades, the things he's done. And all of it speaks for itself. So I thought there was no better person than to coach me than him.
Hey, Ricky, it seems like you've got a special chain on. Can I ask about that? Who is that on your chain?
It's my auntie. Her name is Shakayla Montgomery. She passed in 2021 due to cancer. She was a fighter. She was a warrior. She ended up beating it, but then it came back and spread to her liver. So honestly, I wear her every day. I wear her around me. On the back of it, I have little words in writing, and then a dove. It says, "Long live Kayla." So really, she's like my inspiration. She was one of she is life. She's like full of life. She was full of life. She was amazing. Like you would go by her and she would definitely make you smile. There's no way that if she was in this room today, she'd have the whole room laughing. She was funny. She was just loving all around. She has 2 sons right now, like who plays football as well, my first cousins. And really we've grown together a lot because we grew up together. She also has 2 other kids. But we've grown up together and we've gotten closer due to her because she was like a big inspiration to us. She was always pushing us, letting us know how great we could be. And now we're all on a high collegiate level.
Ricky, for you, a lot of high school guys want to take all the visits and, want to do the IG top 6 and all that kind of stuff. For you, how just important really was that first offer? Why was that so important for you? And what is it about the way you carry yourself that you kind of approach the whole recruiting thing very straightforward and businesslike?
Honestly, I didn't have some kids, they come in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, big high recruiters, 5 stars. As soon as they get to school, they getting offers, all these things. My 9th through 11th grade year, I didn't see an offer. I barely talked to coaches. So when I first got that offer, it felt amazing to me. It felt like I finally accomplished things. Because I'm not going to lie, there was definitely some nights where, I was breaking down, figuring out, if this doesn't work out, what's going to be next. But ultimately, with my support team is amazing. All my friends, my family, especially my mom. My mom is a big person. She's definitely a big help. She's done it all for me. So with my support team, I was able to, keep my confidence up and keep working at it. I had people telling me to keep going, and then I ended up going to a camp in San Antonio and ended up with 9 interceptions. I was rated the 2nd best player there. So it just ultimately kept me working, and then once I got that first offer, I ended up dropping 5 more in the same day, so I had 6 offers in total in one day, and that just shot my confidence even more up through the roof because now I felt like my work was finally being, seen.
This coming year, what's your goal for this year personally in terms of your development as a football player?
Personally, I feel like another big part of my game is my IQ, the smart level of the game. So I feel like that's another piece I want to continue to grow. I want to be able to know all the plays the back of my hand. And also I want to learn from the older guys. Even if I don't end up playing this year a lot or, I end up playing, it doesn't really matter. I just want to keep working and keep just showing the effort and showing the coaches what I can do. And just making plays. I want to be a playmaker for the team. So this upcoming year, I'm going to do everything that I can to show, I'm really that guy. I'm like that.
Got one on Zoom here from Logan.
Ricky, I know you just arrived, but what have you seen during the summer workouts from the other side of the ball in the wide receiver room? And we're about to talk with them, but also Elijah Moore. What have you seen from a handful of those guys?
With our receiver room, we have speed. Let's just put that out there. I want everybody to know we truly have speed. Those guys are running. We definitely have some great guys in the room. A lot of our guys can run a lot of routes. They got great hands. Elijah Moore is definitely going to be great for us this year. I feel like he's going to make a good impact for us this year and for the years coming. We also got a lot of freshman receivers that's going to make a pretty good impact. I feel like LaWayne McCoy is also definitely going to have a good impact for us. Malik Benson is definitely going to have a good impact. A sleeper that I don't think most people think about, I feel like Deuce Spann and Ketron Portier is definitely going to be big for us. Jalen Brown, of course. We got definitely guys on top of guys on top of guys. So at the receiver room, I don't feel like – a lot of people think that's our weakness. I don't know why. If y'all look at our receiver room, we really have some guys. Ja'Kai Douglas. We got Jalen Lucas who can play receiver. So, it goes on and on and on. So I think that's definitely going to be, a sleeper this year, and a lot of people are going to be, awakened when they come out on the field.
I know you haven't been here too long, but have any of the older corners been helpful yet? Just kind of giving you tips or advice since you got here?
Yeah, not even just the corners. Really, the whole DB room. We're a unit together. Our saying is ELITE, elite. So we do everything elite. We work together. Sundays we're out on the sand. I'm gonna start going to those. You know, they've been doing that since they've been here. When we're on the field, we're always communicating with each other. We do film sessions with each other. And we just, for the most part, always around each other. So everything we do, we try to do it elite, and we're always working together. Like, in my opinion, I feel like we definitely put in a lot of work. Like, we try to outwork everybody.
Got one more on Zoom here from Zach. It'll be our last one.
Hey, how's it going, Ricky?
I'm going better than yourself.
Doing well, thank you. With Elijah Moore specifically, what impresses you just being able to go up against him the few times that you have so far while you've been on campus?
He's definitely a big guy. He's like 6'5". I'm only like 6'1", 6 foot. So he's definitely challenging me a lot because it makes me use my technique a lot more because I know I have to be more patient with him. I have to use my hands against him. And he's also definitely a strong receiver, and he has strong hands. So you got to really try to play through the ball. You got to really, fight. And it's been good going up against him. I feel like we're definitely giving each other work. We're making each other better. And that's going to be an all-year thing. Every receiver, every corner, we're all going to work each other. And we're going to make sure that we're coming out on top, trying to be the best that we can be so that when the season comes, we put everybody on display and show that we got some real deal gangsters on the team.
Awesome. Thanks, Ricky.
No problem. Thank y'all.